Sasa kuambia hawa watoto ya Oroko kiwa wamemaki na mama waendelee kumchunga, na ninajua wao ni watoto wazuri sana, wataendelea kumchunga mama. Naftal Oroko alikuwa anataka kusomesha watoto na alisomesha watoto yake wote. Kwa hivyo mimi naweza kusema kwa wakati huu sina mengi ya kusema, lakini naweza kurudi nyuma niseme ndugu ya Naftal Oroko tawapa pole sana. Ndugu ya mama Teresa Naftal Oroko, pole sana. Kwa hivyo naweza kusema siwezi kusumuza mambo mingi sana. Sisi wote Yaraituo tulikuwa tunapendana, sisi yote tulikuwa kama watu 54. Tulikuwa tunapendana sana. Kwa hivyo sina mengi ya kuweza kusema. Naweza kusema vile mimi niko hapa Nairobi, pia ninakaa kwa mtoto yangu, anaendelea kunilinda. Kwa hivyo na yeye naweza kumpigia asante, kwa sababu vile mnaniona namna hii, yeye ndiye anaendelea kunilinda. Kwa hivyo sitakuwa nikisema mengi, itawachia hapo. Sema kwa ufupi, itakuwa nikiwachia hapo, sina mengi.
Sokoro taught us to be honest in all our endeavors and to be hardworking. He insisted on the importance of paying tithe from our earnings from those of us who are already working, and remain faithful to God. He was a man of few words and very observant. When we visited in Kisii, he would sit in the same chair by a corner and watch us lovingly as we ran about. He ensured we had enough food and would take us for long walks when he was younger. About 20 years ago, I remember we'd go for long, long walks around the shamba, up the hill. We would be running after him and he'd be asking us, "You young children, you can't walk as fast as me." He was very fit and would walk up and down the hills. When we were younger also, he was a veterinary before retirement, and we would watch him take care of the cattle. We will miss you, and it is hard to imagine returning to Kisii and not find you there. We will follow in your footsteps, Sokoro. Keep being diligent, hardworking, honest, strong in our faith as you are. We thank God for the blessings we had, and we thank you for the memories we would always treasure. Thank you for everybody who came today. Thank you for your support.
As one of the sons of our late father, Mzee Naftal Bosire Oroko, when I look back, in reality, he is everything that you see in this person called Getui. As I grew up, when we moved to that settlement scheme, he was one of the pioneers of the SDA church in that community. And because of him, he brought us together. And at one stage, we found ourselves as young people being told who we ought to be and which direction we need to take. When you see somebody like me, a reflection of what this Mzee has done comes into a reality of what a good neighbor who finally becomes your father is in your life. We started off as Rietago SDA Church. We came in to Riangoko SDA Church, which is in the neighborhood of our late father, Mzee Naftal Oroko. And when all those churches were brought together, he gave us characters which reflect who we are. If you find his son, Paminas Oroko, people at times don't understand how we grew together, because he was in Kamagambo, I was in Kisii, but every other Saturday we found ourselves in one place worshiping God. When it came to going to high school, we went to the same high school, which is in Coast. And the people were asking, are these people of the same father or the same mother? But we were given something. And what we are, with my brother Paminas, came from this old man who has rested, our late father, Naftal Oroko.
Since Dad passed away, Mom has not stopped crying. It has been difficult for us. And I could understand why she can't be comforted. Because I've been with them. This is almost 35 years that I've been married in that home. Walking with them, the two of them, they've been my pillar. I don't have my parents myself. They've gone before us, and I took Dad Oroko and Mama Teresa as my parents. They took me in as their child, and there hasn't been any issue. I'm going to speak on her behalf, but before I do that, I want to call upon Phyllis Rasugu, my younger sibling, to mention a few words before I speak on behalf of Mama.
We have lost a great dad, a dad who loved all of us very equally. As daughters-in-law, we were not daughters-in-law, but we were his daughters. He was very loving. He cared for each and every one of us. He always had words of wisdom to share with us. And he has left a big gap that will be difficult to fill. One thing that Dad had for us, all his daughters-in-law, he called us Mama. He never called us by our names, but he used to call us Mama. And every time he visited any of us, whenever we cooked for him, he would tell the visitors around him that my daughters know how to cook. They know how to cook the brown ugali, and he was satisfied that he would always be filled and he would always be happy because he was a good man. I do not have words to express what he was to each one of us, but in summary, he was an honest man, he was God-fearing, and for us, when we look back at the way he conducted his life, we would say he was Jesus walking on earth. We have lost a great man, but we look forward to meeting him in glory because we know that Dad will be there at the resurrection morning.
Mom loved Dad. She says, Mzee was my friend. Mzee was my lover. He was my protector. He was my encourager. He was my confidant. I loved him dearly. He was my loving husband. He loved me back dearly the way I loved him. Umwanchio nebuomoyo. Ondendete agankinia. Inkaba ekinabeire. Inkibono ndatebe. What can I say? He was everything to me. We tried to console her until her mom, it's enough now, you have cried. I have lost my lover. And tears will roll like they are rolling now. Mzee made me the strong woman that I am. We met when we were young. He was passing through our village and he saw me and he liked me. When he talked to me, I loved him. It was that instant love. And a few days we were ready to get married. We have not walked back from the commitment that we made for each other. Distinctly, we grew at a time when women don't have a voice like you do nowadays. But Muse gave me the freedom to be a woman that God made me to be. He was special. He didn't see me as a woman like the women of the village. He saw me as a companion. He empowered me. He gave me freedom to make decisions. Even in his home, I contributed. He never used to see me a woman just like any other woman, because at that time women were seen, not heard. That wasn't my husband. He gave me freedom to talk, and I did talk, and I did contribute to his decision making. I knew his plans every time. He could make a plan to buy a plot somewhere, to invest in anything. He never hid it from me. I knew all his plans. I knew his bank accounts. Distinctly, I have been sick for a long time, having chronic asthma. Many could have left their wives for that, because I started falling sick when I was young in marriage. But he stood by me. There is no time I missed the medication that I wanted. That was his first priority, because of the love that he had for me. Many of the villagers could wonder why he is spending so much money on a sick person. Mzee never wavered. He stood by me as a wife because he was committed to see his wife well. I will miss my husband. I cry. I feel the pain. I feel the void. His Christianity has given me strength and hope. I was the treasurer in Raitigo Church, but behind the scenes, he was the treasurer. We could come from the church, I'm carrying the money, he will take the money and sit down and count that money on my behalf. That is my lover, my husband. Unfortunately, he became sick. But true to my wedding vows, in sickness and in health, I was ready to walk with my husband and my lover. I came to Nairobi with him. I stayed with him for the last 3 years. And I could take him to the clinic. I could come back. I could take him to hospital. I could come back. My lover and my husband, I wasn't going to miss a step. I was there with him. The last time he went to hospital, it's COVID time. I was not allowed to go because of my frailty, but somehow my children sneaked me into Nairobi Hospital I saw him on Thursday. We had a chat with him. We prayed with him. My lover, I didn't know that was the last time I will see you. I could have come another time, but I wasn't allowed because the hospital said, we do not want to see you here. Many a times, my lover has gone to hospital and come back. And this time, I knew it wasn't going to be any different because he wasn't very sick. There are times that he has gone to hospital when he's very, very sick and we think he is not coming back. This time, he wasn't that sick. I don't want to believe he has gone. He has been my project. Walked with him, he has left. I just want to pray that the Lord can give me the strength to accept what has happened, and most importantly, to have that great hope that in the second coming of our Christ, whom he has served so much, I will see my lover. Mzee, he never called me by name. He always called me Oyobwa Auma because I'm the daughter of Auma. He never called me Teresa. I never called him Oroko. I called him Mzee from the first day. We loved each other. Now he's gone. I look forward to seeing him on the second coming of our Christ. It is my prayer. I will say a few words on my own behalf. I've lived with these two very closely because they stayed in my house for the last 3, getting to a half years. Both of them are not well. Mzee was very ill. When he is so ill in his room, which was like a hospital room, it had the oxygen tank, it had the lines, it had everything you could expect in a hospital when somebody is sick and seriously sick, because there was a time Dad had 24-hour oxygen on. Mama could wake up from the main house, our house, because Dad used to stay in the SQ, and could wake up in the morning, go there. He can't have breakfast without him. That is when he's very sick and can't come out of the room. That is how close they were. When Dad became strong, he could come to the main house for breakfast at the table. And sometimes he could find Mama is not there. He could ask, "Nga yo monginali?" Mate mongina tarabu room yae karamu ganyake araragira. Nga yo monginali? He could carry his fimbo and walk to her room and open the door and say, "Oyo bwauma, nga kirara kwanyo uruga." He could not have breakfast without her. I looked at the way they relate. Mom could carry his chair after breakfast and they sit outside. And they will talk, I don't know what, the whole day talking. They come back home and they talk. One thing I've learned from the two is true love. They were love birds. Even at old age, I marveled at the way they care for each other. Dad has been with us. We have seen him ailing, but we want to thank God for the opportunity that he has given us, especially me on my behalf. Dad loved me and we loved each other. I wasn't the daughter-in-law, no. I was his friend. I was his close. We could talk. He told me how he courted Mama. I have the full story. Could write a book. Everything they did. This Mzee lying here was a special Mzee. My husband used to marvel at the things we talk. And he says, you need to have some boundaries. Said, it's not me, it's your dad. He doesn't have boundaries, you should start from him. Because he could tell me a lot of things. I wasn't like a daughter. Dad was liberated, he was a Christian, he didn't have a lot of the baggages that many of his age carry along. A special man indeed. We pray that what he has left with us, he could sing. I could get outside the house and he tells me, Mama, I don't know how to sing. But he thought I was a singer. And we could sing the whole day with him. And he doesn't know that I have other work to do. Because he loved singing, he could. He leaves a void in our lives. His chair is there in my house. His bed is there in my house. His tree where he used to sit is empty. But we have this hope that in the coming of the Lord, Dad will resurrect because he was a true Christian. In Jesus' name.
Good afternoon, all of you. My brother has just arrived this morning from America. It's the fourth born. Mzee had 2 wives. So that is Mzee Bosire had 2 wives. And in my mother, Ronald Bosire, my brother here, is the 4th born. And in my mother's, we were 5 brothers and 1 daughter. But there are my brothers, my stepmother, who also we have as siblings who are quite a number, and there are many. So Ronald is staying in America, in Dallas, Texas, and he arrived this morning. When he heard this message, the sad news, he decided that he should come and see and witness the burial and really confirm that Musa is no more, because he's the one who brought us up. And he was like our father. One thing I could say, my father identified the attributes of Elder Oroko very early. And he divided his land into 3 portions. And he gave 1 portion to Mzee Oroko and told him, you are like my brother. When I have any problem in this family, you will be solving the disputes and the problems with me. So he put him aside, and that is what they were doing. So we are a united family, and so may I allow my brother to greet you and give his tribute.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. I left Dallas yesterday at 6 in the evening, and I arrived to port at around the 1. And we stayed there for 8 hours, and we left there this morning at 6. And then I arrived here at around 9. I thank God for that, because the transport from America this way is about 16 hours now. When I left here in 2000, I took about 24 hours from here to London, then from London to Dallas. My brother, as you have heard, he was a hero man, and he was a very good man to us. Me, I was speaking tea in Kericho. When my brother completed his college in the river, he decided to come to Kericho and pick me from there. I started my class 1 in 1956 when I was about 14 years. My brother is the one who made me even to have whatever I'm having right now, because I couldn't even go to America, because in America you can't go and work without knowing the language. Because there we make applications, and unless you know how to make your applications, you can't work there. Everything you talk in English and Spanish. You don't talk Swahili there. My brother has died. I thank his children very much. And God bless you both, girls and boys. What you have done, God will reward you. My brother could have passed away long ago. Even the mom was always sick. But because of these children, the gift which my brother was given, these gifts have made these parents to stay longer. They could not reach here because they need medications. Medications are very expensive in Kenya, not like America where we get medication in a cheap price. When I came here last time, my medication got lost on the air, and my brother bought me medication. Was costing me about 70,000, but we went to one of the hospitals in Nairobi here. He bought it for 41,000. He paid. So when I remember how these children have done, I thank you. I thank you, my child. I thank you very much for what you did to my brother. Thank you. Dr. Thank you very much. And I thank all your brothers and all your sisters, and I pray for you. Take care of the mom Maureen. You will be given by our God. He will keep you safe, and he will give you everything. My brother used to help everybody in our in our village. My aunt, my stepfather, my cousins. He was taking some to school. He was paying school fees for some people's children. But he never became poor. I remember of Jesus. Jesus was feeding very many people. And he gave them a sermon for a long time, for about 12 hours. And those people all were angry. And when they were angry, he decided to feed them. And when he decided to feed them, the disciples said, where can we get the food and feed this multitude? Jesus fed all those people. He said, they can't go like this because they will down the way. My brother was like Jesus. He was giving everybody money. His portion of land, my brother has mentioned, he has never come to dig that, to take anything from that land. That land is down there. He has never demanded that land. People who want settlement, they sold their lands. They left their brothers. So my brother was a wonderful man. That's why I forced myself to leave America and come and marry my brother. I said, I can't stay here in America while my brother died. My brother was my father, and my brother was my chief advisor. I was drinking like a very bad. When I was working in Nairobi here, I was in Treasury here for almost 18 years. I did nothing. My brother was fighting for me to change me from drinking, and I became what I am. And I thank him for what he has done to our village. I thank him for what he has done. And I thank my brother here. Very many people in America who are staying there, they pass through my brother. I thank you, brother. Thank you very much, the judge. And may God bless you.